Hello, everyone. I am Kim Seung-hyun, working as Chief Inspector at the Fisheries Monitoring Center at the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries. First, I'd like to take this time to give me the opportunity to make a presentation for the World Bank Group Virtual Knowledge Days on Sustainable Coastal Marine Fisheries Management. Today, I'm going to talk about the Fisheries Monitoring Center and the technologies that we are using and the future direction. I hope that today's my presentation would contribute to the further advancement of the fisheries area of Bangladesh, and also I'd like to take this opportunity to deepen the cooperation between the two countries. This is the table of contents that I'm going to make a presentation about. Today, I'm going to briefly introduce to you about the Fisheries Monitoring Center, and then followed by the key tasks and international cooperation activities at our center and the way forward. First, let me talk to you about our Fisheries Monitoring Center. Fisheries Monitoring Center was established in order to prevent the IUU, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, in March 2014, in line with the demand coming from the international community. And in the same year, in May, our center has established a fisheries monitoring system so that we could be able to monitor the Korean distant water fishing vessels operations. And after that, in 2015, we have introduced electronic reporting system. In short, we call it ERS, in order to electronically monitor the fishing activities of a Korean distant water vessels. And in 2017, we introduced catch certification system to prevent illegal catch. And also, our center is validating catch certificates for key species harvested in foreign waters, which are distributed in Korean domestic market. Now I'm going to walk you through the organizational chart of our center. We are under the management of the East Sea Fisheries Management Service, and we use about 40 vessels in order to do our fisheries monitoring. And under that, we have a Fisheries Monitoring Center, FMC, and we monitor the distant water Korean vessels through the monitoring and surveillance efforts. Under our center, there are two teams, one monitoring team and the other one international cooperation team. And as for the monitoring team, we have 3 shift teams comprised of 6 monitoring staff respectively, so that we can do the monitoring of a Korean flag distant water ship vessels for 365 days, 24/7, I mean. The next slide is about the functions and roles of our Fisheries Monitoring Center. Our center is focused on fundamentally prevent the possibility of IUU, and we implement activities accordingly. To this end, we utilize the fisheries monitoring system so that we can do the real-time monitoring of fish carriers and also the distant water Korean vessels. And also we are focused on effectively control transshipment by issuing certificate transshipment certification, and also we provide the preventative education in relation to IUU. And also, as the MCS competent authority, we have a close cooperation with the international MCS community, and we also validate catch certificates for croakers and sorry to prevent illegal catch distribution in domestic market. At the moment, we have about 210 distant water vessels under our management, and these fishing vessels operate in Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian and Antarctic seas by using the long line Persian with surrounding net and trolls. Not only that, we have about 31 catch carriers under the Korean flag under our monitoring, and also we monitor the third country vessels and IUU fishing vessels, which amount to 200 vessels. Moving on to the next part, which is the key tasks of our center. We utilize the fisheries monitoring system in order to conduct our tasks. As you can see on this slide, this is the landing page of our fisheries monitoring system once you're logged in. The next slide is the concept chart of our fisheries monitoring system. Our system utilizes bidirectional communication Inmarsat terminal. The bidirectional communication terminal, which is connected to the Inmarsat satellite. And then we receive and transmit information, and such fisheries monitoring system is utilized by the National Institute for Fisheries Science, National Fishery Products Quality Management Service, and also other RFMOs like ICCAT and MPFC, so that we can deepen our cooperation on sharing the fisheries related information, especially regarding the distant water fishing vessels under the Korean flag. Now the work process. Our center utilizes the system in order to specifically manage the data regarding the fishing activities of the distant water fishing vessels. And also we do routine monitoring in order to prevent the IUU fishing. If a fishing vessel approaches a restricted waters or area, and if a vessel does not do its duty in relation to the transshipment and landing report, and if a vessel has problem with VMS and ERS, then our center contacts that vessel in question right away and then directs them to restore the signals or complete its reporting duty. If the vessel does not comply with our order or direction, then we suspect that the vessel in question may have been involved in the IUU, and we issue IUU fishing alert. Now moving on to the key functions of our fisheries monitoring system. First, key function is the detection, analysis, and alert functions. These functions are utilized to track the movement of a fishing vessel. Incursion or the fishing license are automatically identified. And not only that, we can manage the data related to the restricted and protected areas, IUU vessel list, vessel history, positional data, catch activities, transshipment, and landing, and so on. We also can produce statistics regarding the catch quantity of fishing vessels in question, and we can share and transmit such data to other organization or other country. What you're seeing here on this slide is the landing page of the electronic reporting system that we use. As you can see, our fisheries monitoring system receives data from the ERS terminal, and we have access to the information such as departure report, trip report, entry, report the entry into the fishing area, landing, and port entry notification, and the pre-port entry notification. All these information can be collected. Now on this slide is how we monitor and analyze the movement of fishing vessels through our fisheries monitoring system. If you look at the red dots, it's the position of where the fishing vessels are located through the VMS, which stands for Vessel Monitoring System. And the green one is the line setting, the blue one is line hauling, and the yellow one is the position that is transmitted by the satellite AIS system. As you can see, we use VMS, ERS, and satellite AIS system all together so that we can do close monitoring of vessels of our interest. As you can see on this slide, this is how we do the movement analysis of the fishing vessels in question. When we do the routine monitoring and when we find out that a distant water fishing vessel approaches restricted area, we can use our mouse to drag the area in question so that we can do the continuous monitoring until the vessel in question moves out of the restricted area. And what you're seeing here is the transshipment activity monitoring of distant water fishing vessels. we can monitor the movement of vessels by following the track of the transshipment vessels and the carrier vessels. And also on the left-hand side, if we see any deviation between the application for transshipment and actual movement, we can also check whether there is any deviation. What you're seeing here on this slide is the Korean Fisheries Info Management System. In short, we call it FIMS, KFIMS. So this is a web-based service for that is being provided for the convenience of the distant water vessel operators. And the vessel operators are using the terminal. They can search in real time the position of its vessel, the fishing activity, the transshipment approval, or total allowable catch, and other information. Now, I'd like to tell you what we are doing in order to prevent the IUU fishing by the Korean flag distant water fishing vessels. First, we conduct on-site inspection or field inspection. When our Korean flag distant water fishing vessels finish its fishing activities and comes into the Korean port, we make an unannounced visit in order to search whether they are in compliance with the Distant Water Fisheries Development Act. But not only just the field inspection, we also take questions from the crew so that we can inform them and keep them up to date of the regulations and the domestic laws of the regulations of domestic laws and regulations, and also the requirements made by the RFMOs. Now, we also do outreach activities by providing educational support to our distant water fishing vessel operators. Of course, it is important to have a good system in place. However, it is very important to raise the awareness of the professionals of the severity of the IUU fishing so that they can be in compliance with the required laws and regulations. To this end, our center provides education on a monthly basis, on a periodic basis. But at the moment, due to the corona pandemic, we do not have in-person meeting, but instead we provide our information through SNS. Now I'd like to talk to you about our center's efforts targeted at international cooperation. Our center is focused on sharing the information related to IUU, and also is making efforts to prevent the IUU. And in order to do that, in 2014, we have joined the International Monitoring, Control, and Surveillance Network. And also we are closely working together with the regional fisheries management organizations, in short, RFMO, NGOs, and other governments, 54 participants in this network. We are working closely together with them, and also about 500 people have actually visited our center to take a look at what we are doing. Furthermore, we have invited government officials in the area of marine and fisheries from Thailand, Vietnam, and Myanmar so that we can share Korea's experiences in preventing the IUU, and also we have supported them with the capacity building, especially in terms of the MCS. Now I'd like to talk to you about the future direction of our center, what we are aiming for. The Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries has implemented a pilot project to introduce electric monitoring from 2016 until 2017 for 2 years. satellite is utilized in order to collect data from CCTV or sensors to detect the use of fishing gear and fire detection sensor. All the data is sent to our center, and our center conducts data analysis and also at the same time monitors the fishing activities of vessels in question so that we can detect the illegal fishing. And based on such a pilot project, we were able to find out what would be the effective data capacity, the best image transfer speed in order to introduce electric monitoring in full scale. We drew lessons from there, and the Korean government is now reviewing the possibility of introducing EM in order to enhance our monitoring system targeted at IUU. What you're seeing here is the images that we took during our pilot project. The first image is from the tuna longliner, and we captured the movement of line hauling. And the second image you're seeing, the video footage you're seeing, is how the catch is being transferred from the fish hold to a carrier vessel. Lastly, I'd like to talk to you about what we want to develop for the smart fisheries or fishing monitoring system in the future. Ultimately, the data our center is managing, the positional data, we want to increase the number of data we manage, which is the fishing activity pattern analysis data, electric fishing reporting data, and the video footage data, and also the fisheries cooperation related data collected from the neighboring countries and RFMOs and FAO, so that we can build up the artificial intelligence based and the big data analysis system, so that we can build up this smart intelligent fisheries monitoring system. The illegal fishing around the coastal area, we can dispatch a patrol boat to control the illegal fishing activity. However, in the distant water, whenever there is illegal fishing, it is difficult to dispatch a patrol boat, right? So it is essential to apply the highly advanced technologies. Against the backdrop, Korea wishes to build up this intelligent smart fisheries monitoring system so that we can also monitor illegal fishing in the distant waters.